Assalamualaikum. This project focuses on information security audit and awareness enhancement plan within Konsortium Kilang Padi PT Terengganu Sendirian Berhad, KPPTSB. Information security is essential for protecting organizations, assets and ensuring the confidentiality, integrity and availability of information. Since KPPTSB relies on machinery system, servers, CCTV and IoT technology, any disruption could affect business operations and productivity. Based on the interview findings, KPPTSB depends on several critical assets to maintain daily operations. Any failure or unauthorized access to these assets could disrupt production and affect business continuity. Therefore, this project aims to identify assets, analyze threats and vulnerabilities, and assess security risks. The assessment focuses on the organization's information security environment, including technology, infrastructure, and personnel. KPPTSB is a rice milling company involved in various activities such as padi purchasing, processing, storage, packaging, and rice marketing. KPPTSB's operations involve several interconnected processes from padi purchasing to rice distribution. These activities are supported by both information technology and operational technology, including servers, CCTV systems, IoT devices, and processing equipment that are essential for efficient operations. Information was collected through a semi-structured interview with the operation and technical manager, supported by observation and document review. The collected data was analyzed using the ISO IEC 27005 risk management framework to identify asset threats, vulnerabilities, and risks affecting the organization.
In this section, we focus on understanding the overall security situation in the rice mill operation. We begin by identifying the most critical assets are in the company, such as important materials, machines, or data that need to be protected. We then explore how the company detects any unusual changes in rice stock or quality, for example, sudden loss, damage, or inconsistency during processing and storage. Next, we look into the main processes involved in the rice mill operation, starting from the purchasing of raw rice, processing activities, and all the way to the packaging stage, in order to understand the full workflow. Finally, we ask for the respondents' opinion on the current system, especially to identify any weaknesses or limitations that may exist in the operation or security management. This section focuses on the technical side of security and information management, and also the administrative control and policy enforcement within the organization. We ask whether the company uses such as ERP or other digital management systems to handle operation, data, or inventory. We also want to know where the company stores its data, whether it is kept in a local server within the organization or stored in cloud-based system. In addition, we investigate whether employees have been given proper cybersecurity awareness training to ensure they understand how to protect sensitive information and avoid security threats. We also ask whether the factory uses Internet of Things, which is IoT, technology in its machine operations, especially systems that are connected to the Internet for monitoring or automation purpose. Next, we ask whether security audits are conducted on a regular basis to ensure that all systems, processes, and procedures are properly followed and remain secure. This section focuses on physical protection of the factory and its assets. We begin by asking how access to the factory area is controlled for different groups, such as employees, visitors, contractors, and external vendors, and whether systems like security guards, fences, or access cards are used. We also ask whether there are restricted areas in the factory that are not allowed to be entered by external visitors to protect sensitive operations. Next, we look at physical security tools such as CCTV cameras, alarm systems, and security patrols to understand how the company monitors and protects its premise. We further ask how long CCTV recordings are stored and who is given permission to access them for investigation or monitoring purpose. In the event of incidents such theft, sabotage, or trespassing, we explore how the company protects important assets like rice stocks and machinery. Finally, we ask how long-term stock or equipment is managed and monitored to ensure safety, quality, and proper inventory control.
Now, I am presenting our operational risk assessment for our rice mill facility. Our focus is to identify our critical asset, analyze the threats they face, and map out our system vulnerabilities so we can protect our operational continuity. First, let's look at our asset footprint, which we have categorized into 5 core operational layers. First is hardware asset, including critical machinery like our inclined batch dryer and hot water generator. Second is software assets such as our primary management system and CCTV monitoring software. Information asset, consisting of valuable data like purchase records and inventory levels. Next is human resource. The managers and machine operator will keep our facility running. And network asset, including our local servers and remote monitoring connections. To protect this asset, we identified 8 major threats. On the physical side, we face potential theft or petty stock, machine failures, and safety hazards like dust fire or generator explosions. On the digital side, we are exposed to unauthorized access, network failures, human errors in data entry, and potential cyber attack targeting our financial records. These threats are heightened by specific systematic vulnerabilities. Currently, we rely heavily on manual security guards for access control. We also face a single point of failure due to our local server dependency without off-site backups. Furthermore, we have manual operational process and limited cybersecurity awareness training among staff, leaving us vulnerable to both human error and data loss. To tackle this systematically, we map these threats and vulnerabilities directly to our asset. For example, our incline batch dryer is highly vulnerable to machine failure due to overdependency. Our hot water generator face safety risks from potential operator error. Our local server risks permanent data loss because we lack off-site redundancy. To mitigate this risk, we recommend physical gateway hardener, delivering basic cybersecurity workshop for our team and setting up ultimate cloud backups. This concludes my presentation.
In this project, the risk assessment is conducted using the ISO or IEC 27005 Information Security Risk Management Framework. This methodology is used to systematically identify and evaluate risk within the rice mill operation. The process includes several key steps, starting from identifying important assets, followed by identifying possible threats and vulnerabilities. After that, the risks are analyzed and evaluated, and finally, suitable risk treatment recommendations are suggested. To ensure consistency, each risk is assessed using a qualitative rating scale based on likelihood and impact levels, which help determine the severity of each risk. Next, for this assessment, likelihood refers to how often a risk may occur. It is classified into 3 levels: low, medium, and high, with values from 1 to 3. Similarly, impact refers to the severity of consequences if the risk occurred. It is also classified into low, medium, and high. To determine the overall risk level, a risk score is calculated by multiplying likelihood and impact. Risk score equal to likelihood multiplied by impact. Based on the score, risks are categorized as 1 to 2 low risk, 3 to 4 medium risk, and 6 to 9 is high risk. In this section, we evaluated several important assets within the rice mill operation. The first high-risk asset is the drying machine, which may experience mechanical failure due to continuous high temperature operation. The hot water generator (HWG) is also classified as high risk because it has a potential fire or explosion hazard caused by human error during monitoring. Next, the rice stock inventory is another high risk asset due to possible theft of recording errors caused by human negligence. Next, the local server is also highly critical as hardware failure may occur due to centralized storage without proper cloud backup. In addition, the IoT monitoring system is considered high risk because it depends heavily on external network connectivity and service providers. The electrical supply system is also classified as high risk since power failure can directly disrupt all machine operations. Other high risk areas include operational dependencies such as system and infrastructure reliability. Meanwhile, medium risk assets include the primary management system, which may face unauthorized access due to insider misuse, and the CCTV system, which has limited data retention of about 1 month. The staff records and operational data are also medium risk due to possible data leakage from human error and weak cybersecurity awareness. Lastly, the physical facility security is considered medium risk, as it still relies heavily on guard monitoring and manual supervision. Based on the analysis, the main risks in the rice mill are caused by 4 factors: machinery failure, human error, system dependency, and physical security weakness. The most critical risks involve key assets such as the drying machine, HWG, IoT system, local server, rice stock inventory, and electrical supply system. These are essential for daily operations, and any failure may cause production downtime, safety risks, or financial loss. In particular, the drying machine and HWG are highly critical due to high heat operations. Major risks include the CCTV system, management system, staff data, and physical security, which are protected by existing controls but remain vulnerable due to human error and limited monitoring duration. In conclusion, the main weakness identified is human factors such as awareness, discipline, and responsibility. Therefore, improvements such as staff training, stronger backups, better access control, and improved monitoring system are recommended to reduce the overall risk.
Hi, I will be presenting the Purpose Security Improvement Plan for Konsortium Kilang Padi PP Terengganu. Okay, let's start with technical control, which protect our digital environment. First, we highly recommend implementing an ultimate hybrid cloud backup to protect us from local hardware failures and permanent data loss. Second, we need to roll out multi-factor authentication MFA for all employee accounts to prevent unauthorized access. Finally, upgrading our network and endpoint protection with modern firewall and antivirus is critical to defend our operation, especially our IoT monitoring system against malware. Okay, moving to administrative control. These are policy designed to reduce risk caused by human error. First, we must adopt a formal information security policy that enforces strong password rules. Second, we need to conduct regular cybersecurity awareness training so our staff can spot threats like phishing emails. Lastly, we need a documented incident response plan if an emergency or breach does happen. This plan ensures we know exactly what steps to take to recover as quickly as possible. Our third pillar is physical control, protecting our facilities and heavy machinery. We need to upgrade our manual monitoring to electronic access control using biometric or card system for our server and control room. We also need to extend our CCTV recording retention to 90 days and add camera to critical zone. Furthermore, installing environmental control like fire detection and UPS battery backup in server rooms will protect against power outage and overheating. To make this manageable, we recommend a phased approach. Phase 1 focuses on our highest risk areas and should be completed within the next 1 to 2 months. This includes the low-cost, high-impact items, setting up cloud backup, enforcing MFA, drafting our security policy, starting staff training, and establishing the incident response plan. The IT and management team will lead this immediate action. Phase 2 will address our medium priority risks over the next 3 to 6 months. This phase involves the physical and hardware upgrade, extending CCTV storage, installing biometric system, and upgrading server rooms, UPS units. It also includes establishing a monthly preventive maintenance program for our heavy machinery and setting up periodic audit every 6 months to ensure our security stays strong.
Okay, next I will talk about the ethical and professional issues. There is a three ethical and professional issues, which are data privacy and confidentiality, professional responsibility, and legal and regulatory compliance. First, data privacy and confidentiality. For data privacy, all data collected from interviews and observations was kept strictly confidential. Sensitive information such as operational and employee data was handled securely and will never be disclosed to third parties. Second, professional responsibility. We remain completely unbiased and objective. All findings and recommendations in this report are based purely on evidence from our data, aligning with standard information security practice. And lastly, legal and regulatory compliance. For compliance, it is vital for the organization to protect its information asset in line with Malaysian laws and industry regulations. We highly recommend adopting ISO or IEC 27001 controls to manage this risk and meet regulatory expectations. In conclusion, this project successfully assessed the information security risk at Konsortium Kilang Padi PP Terengganu SDM PhD. Several important assets were identified, including machine server, CCTV system, and IoT devices. The assessment found that some assets such as drying machine and electrical supply system face higher risks that could affect operations and cause financial losses. Human factors such as low cybersecurity awareness and reliance on manual processes were also identified as key concerns. To reduce this risk, improvements such as regular staff training, better data backup system, stronger access control, and improved security procedures were recommended. Overall, implementing these measures will help the company improve security, reduce risk, and ensure smooth business operations in the future. That's all from us. Thank you.
I would like to present our security awareness poster entitled Information and Operational Security at KPPTSB. Based on our risk assessment findings, one of the highest operational risks in KPPTSB is the potential mechanical failure of the drying machine and hot water generator (HWG). These failures may occur due to human factors, equipment wear and tear, and continuous exposure to high operational temperatures. Information and operational security refers to the protection of critical organizations assets such as IoT monitoring systems, local servers, activity CCTV systems, and operational machinery from unauthorized access, damage, misuse, or human negligence. From our assessment, we identified three major threats and vulnerabilities. Dependence on local servers without cloud backup, which may lead to data loss if the server fails. Employee negligence and limited cybersecurity awareness, increasing the risk of human errors and security incidents. Unauthorized access to the primary management system and IoT monitoring system, which may affect operational control and data security. To address these risks, we recommend several security control measures. Implementing an automated hybrid cloud backup system to improve data availability and recovery. Enforcing multi-factor authentication (MFA) to strengthen access security. Installing biometric access control systems and extending CCTV recording retention to at least 90 days for better monitoring and incident investigation.
Hi, I want to quickly highlight our incident response plan. This plan ensures our facilities stay secure and operational. If any issues occurs, we follow a 4-step response. Identify, watch for anomalies in our drying IoT system. Report immediately, notify IT or management of any security incidents. Action and containment, we quickly restrict access or block account to stop the threat. Recovery, we use hybrid backup to restore system without prolonged downtime. For our daily security, just remember PADI, P for prevent and monitor, continuously check logins and CCTV, A for authenticate, always use multi-factor authentication and password with at least 12 characters, D for data protection, backup our records daily to the cloud, I for integrity and inspection, always register, escort visitors in the factory zone. By following this plan, we keep our operations safe. Thank you.